Welcome back to the final segment of Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist, and Online Trading Academy is an academy that trains people just like you how to trade or invest. So if you're one of those people that have always wanted to get into the stock market but just didn't know how, we have classes for you. Say you're a person that you know you want to be in the financial markets and you are investing even, or say you just want to make more consistency. We do have classes for you as well. So with these classes, they're really for any type of person. If you're young, old, whatever that old, young really means to you. If you're rich, poor, it doesn't matter, because we have strategies no matter what type of accounts that you have. And the key is to use less capital, which means by using leverage in the financial markets. There's assets that allow you to do that. There's strategies to use less capital. And we discuss that a lot on the show here to introduce you to that, but we really show you in these classes that we have. We have these 2-hour classes during the week. We also have them on the weekends to introduce you to some of these concepts. So if you want to check out one of these classes, I want to invite you to this class. It's 2 hours, and we talk about the markets, how they work, how they function, the different opportunities that you may have with your accounts. You can text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now for 2 seats. That's text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for this class, local at our academy here at Online Trading Academy. So in that last segment, we were talking about how to overcome that fear of managing your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned, I was talking about the first time I walked into Guitar Center to buy a guitar, I didn't even know what anything was called. Who knew that thing that you put on the end of your guitar is called a capo? I mean, who knew? But if you don't know, you have to ask. You have to ask for help. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is to ask for help, to see what somebody knows and try to learn from them. Just like we were talking about at the beginning, sports. People are, we have athletes, great athletes, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, by the way, Minnesota native. His dad played for the Minnesota Twins. Pat Mahomes, pitcher, back in the 90s. But so we have ways we can learn the financial markets, and it's very difficult to do on your own. That's why we have these classes. That's why we introduce you to these different techniques and concepts. So hopefully we can get you started off on the right foot. But as I mentioned, when I walked into Guitar Center, I was afraid. I didn't know what to do because I just didn't know. Then they explained to me, this is what this for, this is what that is for. Took some lessons. I got trained by a professional that knows how to do it. As I mentioned in that last segment, now I'm playing some Tom Petty, some Luke Combs, Matchbox 20, some others. And that I have more confidence doing that. And I can actually play in front of some people now. I'm actually okay to do that. And that's the same thing in the financial markets. You have to learn from somebody that knows what they're doing. And we have many instructors here at the academy. It's 50 or 60 or so, Al.
Right.
And I'll just talk about the caliber of the instructors, where they come from, some of their backgrounds, so our listeners understand, here's what we have access to at Online Trading Academy.
Yeah, well, it's really important. If you want to learn from someone, like your guitar analysis there, if you walked into a Guitar Center and they said, we're going to hook you up with an instructor here to give you some lessons, and he just learned how to play the guitar last week, you're probably not going to do too well.
No.
The people that teach our classes, and this is really the important thing, this is one of the ways that you really kind of cut through a lot of the noise and the unimportant things out there. Learn from somebody that knows what they're doing. Learn from somebody who's basically a professional at what they're doing. A lot of our instructors came from the floor of the Chicago Board of Options, trading futures at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, maybe running hedge funds. These are people that are active in this market, that know what moves the price of different assets, know how to protect their assets. In fact, most of them were in situations where they were moving enough money to actually move the price of things. So they understand order flow. They understand how that happens. But those are the people that you want to learn from. And we're fortunate enough to have, a large number of these people that will come into our different centers and teach our students. They love teaching. It's for them, it's a way of always making sure that they're kind of up to date on things too. But they love teaching. They take very personally the potential for their students to be successful. So, they have a goal when they come in to teach, and that is to give you enough information that's valuable information and help you to get over the fear to understand how the markets work and what the benefits are in the different markets, we're using different assets, whether it's right for you, and then also how to make sure you have the opportunity in your favor to be successful. I mentioned before that there's a lot of strategies out there that are biased to a certain direction. So you may find somebody who has a strategy that depends on the market going up, another one who depends on the market going down. We don't have a bias as to the strategy that has one direction necessary for it to function. We want you to be able to participate in all different directions. And our instructors understand that, they know that, and they know that your chances of being successful in 1 out of 3 directions is not as good as having the ability to benefit in 3 out of 3 directions. And that's really what we talk about. What are the proper assets? And we look at each person as an individual. One person may be better off trading stocks, investing in stocks. One person might be better off using options or using options on stock or futures. We go over all of these things. Part of that plan that we talk about that's so important is structuring this in a way that is specific to each individual.
Yep.
And the plan is something that's a growing thing. It never stops. You're always changing the plan. It grows with you as you become more sophisticated. And I think, as I've said before, it's a dangerous thing for somebody to be making decisions on $1 million portfolio with the financial knowledge of someone that's appropriate for a $1,000 portfolio.
Yeah, you kind of brought up a cool topic there about having an opportunity 3 out of 3 directions, not just 1 out of 3. And a lot of people are wondering, okay, what does that mean? So there's up markets. There's strategies, everybody knows that, to profit in up markets. There's down markets, which we're seeing that whole 2022 was down big time.
Right.
There's strategies to profit as the market goes down. There has been and there always will be. There's also strategies for sideways markets. There's ways, especially with options, to have income strategies during sideways markets. And that goes back to, I mentioned, it's a sports theme again. We kind of go down that path every single week, Al. We talk a lot about sports. But Patrick Mahomes, his dad played for the Twins, Minnesota Twins, Pat Mahomes. And he didn't just have a fastball, did he? He had a fastball, a slider, a curve, a changeup. So he had more options or more tools in the tool belt, and that's what pitchers do. If you're in the big leagues, you need to have more than just a fastball. If you want to have success in the financial markets, if you want to have longevity or have the opportunity to build a 401k or the opportunity to have an income strategy with the markets, you need strategies for up markets, down markets, and sideways markets. And we introduce you to all these different techniques, all these concepts in these 3-day classes. Al, in about 20 seconds, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Thank you.
What can people expect to learn when they come to Online Trading Academy?
Well, first of all, how the markets function. What causes price to move? Because think about it, the important thing is if you're going to be an investor or trader, when you put a trade together, investment together, you want it to go in the right direction for you. So what causes price to move in different directions? And that's the one thing that we talk about. We talk about market timing. A lot of you have heard that you can't time the markets. Well, we have a strategy that does that, and it identifies with a high degree of accuracy those turning points when price is going to stop going one direction and start going another direction, or maybe continue a certain direction. We talk about making money or benefiting in an up market and a down market, concepts like shorting. We talk about the different financial assets that you can invest in. Most people are just familiar with the stock market or mutual funds. There are other assets. The pros are using them. All the smart money out there are using those different assets. If you are in retirement, close to retirement, those are assets that are really going to be beneficial to you, because if you went through the 2022 period of time and you kind of had the average 401k portfolio, you were down about 25%.
Yep.
How do you get back from that? How do you rebuild that? And can you afford to let that happen again?
Yeah, we talk about all those strategies in this class.
Right.
I mean, we have an hour with you on the radio to explain kind of how the markets work and the opportunities that you do have. That's why we've had a lot of people calling in and texting in here today. Congratulations to those that you got that did get set up for either this 3-day class, 3-day deep dive, or this 2-hour class. So I'm going to give away one last set of seats for these classes. I want to invite you to Online Trading Academy and see how you can hopefully improve your financial future. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for one of our free classes. We also have this 3-day deep dive. We've had a lot of people calling into this, so congratulations. But this 3-day deep dive is only $99. Normally it's $200 for you radio listeners here today. It's only $99. This reserves you a seat and a planning meeting with one of our specialists to see what you're looking to get out of the market, how we can help you, and start building that plan moving forward. You can call 952-814-4410. Let me do that again. 952-814-4410. That's for 2 seats. Mention when you call in you want the 3-day deep dive into the financial markets. Al, we've had a lot of discussions about many topics here today, and you always have some great tips and tricks. Let's hear today's OTA tip of the week.
Well, it's a new year, and this new year has started. A lot of Americans out there have set New Year's resolutions, with a large percentage of those people already breaking those resolutions. So to make sure you don't fall into that broken resolution category, here's a couple of suggestions that might help. If you have a resolution, first of all, identify a why. For example, if you want to lose weight, is it just to lose weight, or maybe it's for health reasons, or maybe you want to impress somebody or fit into some clothes that no longer fit? Same thing is true in the markets. Why do you want to benefit from the market? Why do you want to participate? And then number 2, surround yourself with people who are more successful than you. If you surround yourself with people that are worse than you, you can't expect to get better.
Yep, flies hang around. You know what? And if you want to be good in the financial markets, hang around the right people. 952-814-4410 for 2 seats for that 3-day deep dive. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.